Hi, and welcome to 7 Cheap and Easy Ways to Get More Visibility and More Customers for Your Business. The presentation will get started here in just a few minutes. We're letting everybody get signed on and settled in here. So now's a great time if you need to go to the restroom or get a drink of water, finish up any last second emails. This is the right time to do it, and we'll get started here in just a moment. Thank you. Hi, welcome again to 7 Cheap and Easy Ways to Get More Visibility and More Customers for Your Business. If that's the presentation you were looking for, you're in the right place. And we've still got a number of people joining in here, so I'm going to give them just one more minute and then we'll get started. Okay, everyone, thank you again for joining me for the presentation today here, 7 Cheap and Easy Ways to Get More Visibility and More Customers for Your Business. I appreciate you taking the time. I know you got a busy schedule, and thank you for choosing to spend some of your time with me here today. The presentation, just to give you some insights on logistics here. One, I will record the presentation, and I'll get a copy of that recording out to you in the 24 hours or so after the presentation. So you can sit back and relax, and you don't have to take any serious amount of notes because you'll get a chance to go through this again if you'd like at a later point. Um, Also, I will take questions at the end of the presentation. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and chat them in to the box that you see below this presentation. You can just type in your questions there and submit them to me, and I will answer as many as I can at the end of the presentation here. And finally, I won't take any questions actually during the presentation, just so you know, just to make sure we get through the whole presentation and everything stays on track. But I will answer them at the end. Okay? So let's go ahead and get going here with 7 cheap and easy ways to get more visibility and more customers for your business. Now, I work with a lot of small businesses, helping them market their business and get more customers. And what I hear from all of them and surveys that I've seen in larger magazines and other websites back this up that the number one business challenge that small businesses face today, and 76% of small business owners say this, is the challenge of how to attract new customers, right? And this is the challenge that's keeping them up at night. Being an entrepreneur, running your own business, obviously there can be lots of stresses associated with that, lots of things to keep you up at night. But the number one thing for 76% of small business owners is how to attract new customers. Um, and there is obviously all kinds of ways of potentially marketing your business, and the ways of marketing your business are growing. It seems like by leaps and bounds every year with the creation of these all these new technologies and new means of marketing. So here's what you've tried as business owners and as small businesses. This is from a Bank of America Small Business Owner Report that was published in eMarketer.com. And you can see here that, the majority of small businesses really rely on word of mouth and customer referrals. 84% in April of 2012 and October of 2012, 87% were relying on word of mouth and customer referrals, which that makes a lot of sense. We all love customer referrals, of course. It's, the nice, easy way to get new business. If somebody refers you a nice, warm, prospect to your business, it's a great way of it's a great way of getting that new customer. You don't have to advertise, you don't have to spend money on advertising, and of course, that person is brought to you by somebody who is already satisfied with your business, which can make all the difference. Number two here, But a huge drop off from number one is networking with other small business owners. And I imagine a lot of you have been a part of formal networking groups like BNI, or maybe you've gone and worked on your speaking skills at Toastmasters. And just about everybody is probably involved in some sort of chamber of commerce in some way or another. So, there's networking events like this. There's industry trade shows where we tend to get together and network with other small business owners as well. But you can see there, that's a good 20-point drop off, and maybe closer to 30-point drop off in October from word of mouth and customer referrals to that networking activity. And then falling another 10 points or so below that is advertising, actually doing any sort of paid advertising. And then a good another drop to direct mail or email. And then finally, you can see their social media. So business owners and small businesses are trying a variety of things. You can see, though, it's heavily weighted towards just that word of mouth and customer referral. And, that is absolutely the case I find in most of the business owners that I work with, is that for the most of them, they have what I call a very passive approach to marketing, in that they are, largely just, hoping that referrals come to them. That's been a source of business for them over time. And it's something that they, use to get their business off the ground pretty successfully. And then they just kind of stuck with that and didn't really invest in any new means of acquiring new customers. Those that have, I tend to see that it's a very, I would call it, inconsistent approach. They'll do some advertising, but maybe they'll advertise just once a quarter, or once every 6 months. They'll try a direct mail campaign, things like that, that are not really consistent, or sometimes really effectively planned over time. So we're trying all kinds of things, but is it paying off for you? Is it paying off for the small businesses around the country? And, I ask my clients when I'm working with, do you have a consistent flow of new prospects or customers? Because that really is the lifeblood of a business, right? It's not just the occasional new customer. It's not just the passive kind of hoping that you get more referrals this month, but it's that ability to drive a consistent flow of new prospects or customers. And consistent really is the key word there, right? Because, we all have high points and low points in our business, and we all have those months where it seems like, everything is really rolling, and we get some good new customers and some new opportunities come our way. But then we also have those dry months where it seems like nothing goes our way. And if you want to grow a business consistently, then you have to get past that. You have to get to that point where you are able to predictably and consistently generate a flow of new prospects and customers to your business. The second question I ask is, are you able to do that at a cost that is sustainable, right? Because if you go out and do paid advertising, and there's all kinds of options for you out there, some of them much more expensive than others, some of them much more effective than others. So what you're doing may be working to bring you new customers in, but is it doing it at a cost that's really sustainable and affordable over the long term? And then finally, is your business achieving consistent growth? Okay, is your business achieving consistent growth? It's one thing to advertise and bring new prospects or customers to your business. It's another thing to convert those prospects and customers into consistent long-term business with you. So those are my 3 questions for you as well. If you can put a yes next to all 3 of those, then congratulations. I think that you're in a pretty special and rare crowd. But the far majority of you, I'm sure, probably feel like you can't put a check next to any of these, or maybe one of them. That's my experience in working with many business owners here over time. So what I'm going to share with you is, again, these 7 marketing strategies and tactics that you can apply to your business that are both cheap and effective. Now, cheap, there's various investments required, and depending on the nature of your business, some of those investments are going to be greater than others. However, when it comes to the cost of the marketing tactics that I'm going to share with you today versus some of the traditional marketing tactics that you may be familiar with of running, print ads in newspapers or yellow pages or running radio ads and things like that, these are definitely all much, much, much more affordable. Okay? So, tactic number one is to create videos. Okay? Videos online have become just an absolute sensation over the last 10 years or so. And you can see in this chart here, this is the growth in traffic of YouTube as compared to some of the other big sites that you may be familiar with: Amazon, MySpace, Wikipedia, Craigslist. Those are all major, major sites. But look at the huge, steep climb in traffic that YouTube shows there over time. It really is amazing. It's the third most visited site on the internet behind Facebook and Google, and it continues to grow very quickly. Um, so video, you take this traffic and you combine it with the fact that video is now easier than ever to create, given that most of us on our phones now have really incredible video cameras, and you can go and buy a regular video camera for just a few $100s now. That's excellent. Videos really are easy to create, and they can be used by every single business out there. So the other major factor here, of course, is that consumers are watching videos like crazy. 75% of US internet browsers watch online videos now. And again, that number continues to grow pretty darn quickly. So it really is a great way of engaging your prospects and customers online. And again, I've seen every type of business be able to take advantage of video. So let's talk about what video can do for your business. One, having a good professional looking video out there, it gives you instant credibility with buyers. People love video, so the fact that you have them, that you're engaging them with video, gives you excellent credibility. Branding. Okay? Videos are a great way to get your brand across and to communicate with your customers on a level that, having just text on your web page just really can't do. There's something, about the visual effect of video, the audio, the emotion that can be portrayed in the communication, the stories that can be told, that can really ignite your brand and take it to a new level. Again, beyond that just text on a web page can do. Search engine love. Probably most of you know, but some of you may not, that Google owns YouTube. Google bought YouTube for over $1 billion some years ago now, and Google absolutely loves YouTube. They obviously bought YouTube because they understood this massive trend that was going on in video creation and consumption. And they have all kinds of stats out there that prove that people tend to engage much more with video content than they do with text content on web pages. So Google loves to rank videos highly in the search engines. Okay? So by creating a video, you have an opportunity to get yourself ranked high in the search engines above and beyond what most businesses are doing with just normal text-based websites. Okay, customer engagement. So I just mentioned that. Again, Google has all these statistics on the fact that people are more engaged with videos. And the more engagement, the more opportunity you have to turn those visitors into actual prospects and customers. Okay, and then action. Viewers are 85% more likely to purchase after watching a video. That comes from excellent marketing software firm called HubSpot. And that is amazing, right? That video has that much impact that they're 85% more likely to purchase after watching a video. And I think that speaks a lot to the power of demonstration, right? The power of being able to see your products or your services or your people in action on a video, or to hear and see the story of your brand, can be very, very compelling. Okay, so let's talk about some best practices here quickly around using video at your business. Again, I think that really any type of business can use video. I've seen it used, of course, in companies like you see here on the screen here. This is a company that's demonstrating its kind of high-tech clothing. They make these clothes that have all of these pockets inside of them that you can store all your gadgets and your gear, and other people can't really notice because the jacket still, lays down nicely when you're wearing it. But great for travelers, great for kind of adventurous people or just gadgety people that want to be able to take all their stuff with them. So that's it's demonstrating its product, it's demonstrating its clothes in all of the pockets, right? But so you see video being used for products like this. See videos being used at every type of service business, from lawn care to hair salons to massage parlors. You'll see video used at chiropractors and dentists and doctors, lawyers. So really just about every business imaginable. And the best videos have a few things that they do really well. One, they keep the videos short and helpful. I think that the average video on YouTube, or at least the average amount of a video that's watched on YouTube, is just about 3 minutes long. So really anything longer than that, and you really risk losing the visitor and their short attention span, right? So you want to keep your videos just kind of short and punchy and to the point and helpful, right? You want people to feel like, hey, I got something valuable out of that, or entertaining, I should say, okay? Helpful or entertaining, and ideally a combination of the two. Then you want to optimize those videos for search engines, okay? And what I mean by optimize it is that when you load a video up into YouTube, let's say, and there's obviously all kinds of places that you could put that video, but let's stick with YouTube here. You're allowed to put in a description and tags and location that the video was made and time that the video was made, all those kinds of things that tell Google what this video is all about and who would be most appropriate to see this video. And by doing that, you make it easy for Google to then rank your video high in the search engines, okay? And then finally, raw is fine, okay? And what I mean by raw is videos don't have to be really professional. You don't have to spend a lot of money going out and getting fancy lighting systems and $10,000 cameras and things like that. And you don't even really have to, you know, overthink the planning of what you're going to say or do in the video. The beautiful thing about creating these videos so quickly and easily now is it gives you the opportunity to be pretty informal and casual in the videos and to demonstrate that you're just a normal person, looking to communicate and engage with your prospects and customers. And people really appreciate that. People really respond to videos that just seem like they were created just by, you and me, just by normal people getting out our camera and just speaking to it or demonstrating something in front of it. It doesn't have to be Hollywood quality. Okay? So take advantage of video. Videos, again, almost free to create now. I mean, if you have a smartphone with a good camera, you can create high quality videos, put them up into a free Google account, or excuse me, YouTube account, and start getting tons of visibility and traffic and new prospects and customers at your business. All right. Tactic number 2 here is what's called Every Door Direct Mail, or EDDM. Many of you, I'm sure, have not heard of Every Door Direct Mail, but it's a service that was rolled out by the U.S. Postal Service, I don't know, a handful of years ago now, that makes it very, very easy and inexpensive to blanket a given area with direct mail pieces. Okay? So, normally if you were going to direct mail a neighborhood in a town, let's say, you would have to go out and buy a list of people who lived in that neighborhood. Then you would have to have let's say you were sending postcards, you'd have to have your postcards printed up, you'd have to put stamps on them and mail them out to those addresses that you bought, okay? With Every Door Direct Mail, it makes it so much easier to do this. All you have to do is pick the neighborhood or neighborhoods that you want to send your direct mail to. You then have the postcards printed up, but get this, you don't have to put any stamp on it. You don't have to put any postage on it. You just use the Every Door Direct Mail program, and let's say that there's 500 houses in a given neighborhood. You print up 500 direct mail pieces, and the U.S. Postal Service will deliver a piece to every single house in that neighborhood. This is really, really powerful for the businesses out there that are really, really local in nature, right? Because really local businesses tend to attract customers that live within 5 miles or a 5 minute drive of their business. People don't tend to go all the way across town to go to a sandwich shop, or go all the way across town to get their gasoline, or go all the way across town to visit their chiropractor. They tend to find those types of businesses that are within just a 5 or 10 minute drive of their house, right? Gyms, dry cleaners, hair salons, massage parlors. These are all businesses that people tend to look for right by their homes so that they're not having to drive real far to access them. So if you have one of those businesses, you can now blanket the area immediately around your business in a very, very cost effective way. In fact, using every door direct mail versus sending regular direct mail pieces is somewhere around, depending on exactly what you're sending, somewhere around a 50% savings versus normal direct mail. Now, a lot of you may be saying, well, isn't direct mail kind of, out of touch, a little old fashioned? We should be doing things on the internet now. Well, yes, I'm a big fan of doing things on the internet, but direct mail is still incredibly effective and people still really like direct mail. You can see in the study here from SourceLink that says people actually still really prefer direct mail. And just in case you can't really tell, because I know there's a lot of data on here, everywhere where you see a blue bar that is higher than the red bars and gray bars, that's where you're seeing that people are saying that they prefer having direct mail versus getting advertisements and information via the internet or email. Okay? So people really like direct mail. I mean, you can see in almost all cases, people prefer to get direct mail over getting information on the internet or an email. So direct mail is still really, really powerful. People still really enjoy getting direct mail. And using this Every Door direct mail program, it's very cost effective and it allows you to stand out. Because the reality is, with so much going on in internet marketing and advertising, a lot of businesses have pulled away from direct mail. So now you have the ability to put a piece in their mailbox and really have that piece stand out because it's not um, fighting for attention with as much junk mail as it used to. Okay? So, great thing about direct mail, again, if you're targeting businesses just in your local area for your very local business, it can be very relevant, very cost effective, and again can stand out. You can see here 53% of 18 to 24-year-olds visited a website after receiving a direct mail piece. So this is a great way of driving people to your website if that's your preferred way of selling. Cost effective, again, using this Every Door direct mail program, you can mail to just one neighborhood, you can mail to 10 neighborhoods. So you can easily get campaigns out the door for handfuls of hundreds of dollars, or a couple of $1,000s for a really nice size mailing. And again, stands out. You can make a nice professional impression by having a really nice design piece that goes into their mailbox. So let me share with you some best practices for Every Door direct mail. One, plan ahead and create a mailing calendar. Okay, there are advantageous times for you to market your business throughout the year. And depending on your business, it could be different times of year, right? A real estate agent, maybe, people buy and sell homes primarily in the spring and summer. And so you want to, make sure that your mailing is really cranked up leading up into those time periods. If you're a retailer, such as a clothing store or a toy store, well, maybe, your big year is around the holidays. And so you would want to make sure that you plan your marketing pieces to go out around that time period. So having a calendar where you identify the most important times to market and then work backwards from there a little bit to make sure that you have the plan in place to get all of your materials ready in time to be sent out. Split test various formats, copy, images. What I mean by that is, instead of just sending 2,000 of the exact same piece, you might want to design 2 different types of pieces and send 1,000 of each and see if one will outperform the other by a pretty wide margin. And typically that's what you see. If you take, one piece and design something totally different in another piece to do as a test, you will find that one dramatically outperforms the other. So now you will have learned, okay, I want to head more in the direction of this type of marketing going forward. But split testing is something that professional marketers do all the time to constantly improve their marketing and learn what is working best. Personalizing with a handwritten message is always really nice. It makes it seem really personal and makes it seem very local if you can put a handwritten message on that piece. And then write really good copy. Okay, study some of the really good direct mail pieces that come to your home from some other big brands out there that do lots of advertising. Insurance companies, financial companies, credit card companies. Those companies spend billions of dollars a year on direct mail, and they hire the very best writers in the world to create the copy on their mail pieces. So it's great to take those pieces and study them and try and mimic some of the language that they use in those pieces. Okay, so that's every door direct mail. Really, really, really hot opportunity for very local businesses. Let's move to tactic number 3 now. One of my favorites, Facebook ads. Facebook's advertising platform is so amazing. I wish every business were using it. So you can see here, one of the things I hear from a lot of small businesses still is, well, my customers aren't on Facebook. My customers aren't going to buy my kinds of products or services on Facebook. Well, I can prove them wrong in almost 100% of cases. I've been able to find every industry, every type of business advertising successfully out on Facebook. And you can see here, Facebook now has over 1 billion people using its platform. So I have news for you. Your customers are on Facebook, period. End of sentence. Every type of demographic is represented on Facebook now in very, very large numbers. Okay, so now why use Facebook? What's the benefit of Facebook? Well, I already just told you about the amazing amounts of people that are on Facebook. So you can reach 51% of internet users on Facebook. That's truly amazing. I mean, you consider this company, barely even existed a decade ago, or maybe didn't exist at all a decade ago, but it's incredible how quickly it's grown and just become such an integrated part of our daily lives. The advertising platform in Facebook has very, very precise targeting. Okay, you can target people by location, by their age, by their birthday, their education, sex, by their interests. It really, I mean, the targeting is just unbelievable on Facebook. So instead of having to do this shotgun approach where you're advertising to thousands of people when really only a small percentage of those are your right audience, which is typical when you're doing any sort of mass media advertising, on Facebook you can hone in on exactly your right target audience and only market to them, which makes it very, very cost effective, okay? Because now you're only advertising to the exact right group of people. So that brings your costs down. You can really easily control your budget in Facebook, and you can really easily measure results in those Facebook campaigns. I mean, literally on a hour by hour basis, you can see the results coming in and use that information to optimize your campaigns to take even more cost out of your advertising. And then simplicity. Facebook really is a nice, easy platform to use. It doesn't require any technical experience. Of course, just like anything, there's lots of things that you can do with expertise and experience in that platform to get the most out of it, but it really is just a nice, simple platform. All right, let's talk about some best practices for Facebook ads. Maybe the most important thing on Facebook, it's called Facebook for a reason, right? Facebook started so that you could see the faces of other students on the Harvard campus. Well, it's still a very visual experience, and it's actually becoming more and more visual over time as Facebook sees that the visual element is really the most sticky element of Facebook for the typical user. People love to go there and see the images and see pictures. So it's critical that you use interesting images, and I say interesting, I was going to say good images, but it's actually more important that they're interesting images in your ads. And I've got some interesting examples here. So one, smiling babies work like crazy. I don't know what it is, but smiling babies work like crazy, particularly if you're targeting women. Attractive women smiling towards the camera work like crazy. And that's pretty universal. It doesn't matter if you're targeting men or women, that's pretty universal. Now, there's also just weird stuff, right? And you can see this picture on the ad down below there that says new recession relief. And then it's just got this, I don't even know what that is. But just some crazy, little critter there staring into the camera has nothing to do with new recession relief or credit card debt or anything. But the advertiser just knows that the image is the first thing that catches somebody's eye when you're advertising. So they made it a strange image, and I guarantee you that that ad got a lot of traction. Okay, so choose the right images. Test, measure, and test again. Again, Facebook is a platform where you can get data on what's working and what's not working literally hour by hour. I mean, you can turn on a campaign in Facebook and get thousands and thousands of people to view your ad just in a matter of minutes. So you can get some amazing data that allows you to test different types of ads and pictures and concepts very quickly and learn from it and then keep on testing and improving. Short action-oriented copy. It works best, and asking questions in your ads can be very effective. And strong call to actions. What I mean by that is you literally, you want to tell people what you want them to do next. Click here to learn more. Click here to contact us. Things like that. Click like, right? Just be very clear and very explicit with what you want them to do. Okay? So that's Facebook ads. Again, one of my favorite ways of marketing your business today, and something that every business should consider doing. All right, tactic number 4 is mobile search ads. Mobile search ads. So what do I mean by a mobile search ad? I mean when you are using, if you have a smartphone, an iPhone or one of the other, Android phones, if you are on that phone and you are either browsing the internet on that phone or you're using some sort of application on that phone, you will oftentimes see ads presented to you. Well, those are mobile ads. Now, I'm specifically referring to mobile search ads where you actually go into like the Google search engine on your phone and do a search. Those ads that you see are mobile search ads. And you may think, well, why do I need to do that? Well, look at the statistics here. In local searches, so people making searches in their local market, mobile is just absolutely exploding. Okay, and it's expected that here in just the next couple of years, mobile is actually going to take over and surpass desktop local searches. So searches that are being made from computers. Okay, and if you're like me, this just makes a ton of sense, right? I have my smartphone with me all the time, and when I'm out and about, going around town, I may be looking for a restaurant or I may be looking for the nearest gas station or whatever it is. I take out my phone and I get on Google, I get on Google Maps, I get on Yelp, right? Sites like that, and do some searches to try and find what I'm looking for. Well, that's a really, really opportune time to have your ad show up to market your business and help that person find what they're looking for. Okay, so it's a very, very effective form of advertising that is just getting amazing results and amazing numbers for businesses that are taking advantage of it. And people are becoming more expectant that you will have a mobile friendly website that they can, find information about your business and contact you using a good mobile site on their phone. Okay, so 67% of consumers now say that a mobile-friendly site makes me more likely to buy a product or use a service. 61% say if I don't see what I'm looking for right away on a mobile site, I'll quickly move on to another site. So it's really important that you are considering the mobile consumer and how you reach them. And mobile ads make this easy, okay? So you can see here on a mobile phone here on a smartphone, somebody did a search for Comcast, and on the top there are a couple of ads placed by Comcast that have the phone number listed right below it, and all the person on the smartphone has to do is click on that ad, and it'll pop up a little box that says, "Oh, you'd like to call that number to call Comcast." So it's very, very easy for the person to see that ad and respond and get in touch with your business. So let's talk about some best practices for mobile search ads. So first, you've got to build a mobile-friendly website. Okay? If you don't have a mobile-friendly website, you're going to turn away just as many people as you attract. It's kind of a waste of money. So create a mobile-friendly website first. The good news is that's very simple and fast to do. Second, bid higher during peak traffic hours, okay, when customers are nearby. So if you're a restaurant and you're trying to get people in during lunch, well, you're going to want to adjust your bids, your advertising bids, to make them a little bit higher during that time period because that's when the competition will be highest as well. So you want to make sure that your ads are getting shown during that busy time. And then custom messaging. So cater your ads to the specific mobile browsers that people are using. Okay. So the fact that they are on the phone, the fact that they are mobile, you can write ads to address the needs of that mobile consumer. So in the case that I suggest here, buy on your phone, you can let somebody know that you have a mobile website that will allow them to go ahead and make the purchase right then and there, which can be very attractive to a consumer. More and more purchases are happening from their mobile devices. Okay, so that's mobile ads. This is an advertising opportunity that most small local businesses are definitely not taking advantage of, but the numbers are just massive. So it's something that if you can jump on now, you can get a real competitive advantage. All right, tactic number 5, Facebook contests. 80% of all internet users have entered at least one contest in the past 12 months. That's pretty amazing. But, you hear about kind of the gamification of business, as they call it. People love to participate in games and contests. So this can be a really, really fun way to engage your prospects and customers. And you can see at the bottom here that more than 50% participate in contests every single month. Okay, so people are pretty addicted to contests. And the good thing is contests are pretty easy to set up on Facebook, and you can get just massive viral exposure in your market using these contests. So you can have a lot of fun with them, and your prospects and consumers can have a lot of fun too. So let's talk about some best practices for Facebook contests. One, you want to plan and promote this just like you would any other advertising campaign. I mean, you can launch a Facebook contest for next to no money. And if you're being really thrifty about it, I mean, you can do it for free. So, but that doesn't mean that you don't want to put the same amount of planning and thought into it that you would if you were, doing a paid ad in your local newspaper that was going to cost you a lot of money. Okay, this is a fantastic opportunity. So you want to put some time into thinking through how you're going to plan it and promote it using press releases, email campaigns, in-store campaigns, letting friends and family know however you can do it to get attention to that contest. Mix and match types. So there's a variety of types of contests that you can have out there that are very effective. You can have your prospects and customers or users of your Facebook page to submit photos or videos or add captions to photos. You could do quizzes and trivia contests and games and things like that. So there's a lot of variety out there, and if you're going to do these on a regular basis, mix them up so that the users experience something new and it really kind of keeps their attention. And then keep it simple and offer a prize. Okay, a prize will really get people excited about a contest. It's amazing what you can get people to do for a pretty darn expensive prize. In this case, it's a 32 gig iPad 2. That's a pretty cool prize. And they're not horribly expensive, but $600 roughly to get one of those. But man, I tell you what, just giving away coupons, just giving away free T-shirts, things like that. It's amazing what people will do to just get some freebies. So come up with some good creative prizes that you can offer in your Facebook contest. All right. Tactic number 6, daily deals. One of my favorites. I'm sure everybody has heard of Groupon and Living Social. These companies that literally just exploded onto the scene, right? I mean, it was just a handful of years ago that Groupon didn't even exist, and then it seemed like overnight they grew to $1 billion in revenue. And in fact, they were the fastest company in history to go from zero to $1 billion in revenue. Just absolutely amazing. And consumers love daily deals, right? We love a deal. So spending on daily deals is reaching 3.9 billion by 2015. It's a huge number, and it's just gone, so fast. So with Groupon, Living Social, they have these massive lists of consumers in your market. So by tapping into these sites, you can really drive a lot of exposure for your business and a lot of sales for your business. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have probably heard a lot of negative things about using daily deals. Like you attract bad customers and it's not profitable, you waste your money. Well, I'm telling you that in almost all cases where people have had a bad experience, it's just because they're not familiar with some of the overall strategies to help make daily deals effective and profitable at your business. So, an experienced daily deal marketer can show you specific strategies to make sure that a deal is profitable for you. Also, I have to say that these sites have come a long way since they first came out into the marketplace and got a ton of buzz. They've put a lot more features into their platform to make it easier for you to control some of the dynamics and financials of the deal that you create. So these are just amazing vehicles to get massive exposure for your business. So let's talk about some best practices for daily deals. One, as I was just mentioning, just do your deal on do your homework on how to structure your deal for maximum profits. You've got to get the pricing right. You should have a good follow-up process to continue to market to those customers once they come in and visit your business. And look for that lifetime value of the customer. So there's a handful of things that you can do there to make sure that you're making these deals very profitable. Deliver the goods. Ensure your business is ready for the surge of new customers. A lot of the negative things that you heard about daily deals was these businesses that literally just got overrun by the number of people who took advantage of the deal and then came to the business. It had, in a lot of cases, a devastating impact on these young new businesses that didn't know how to handle just that massive volume of new customers. So you've got to make sure you're ready to really deliver. And then, as I mentioned before, have a retention strategy. Have a plan for converting these one-time deal buyers into long-term loyal customers, okay? And that means, having follow-up direct mail campaigns, email campaigns, SMS messaging. There's a number of different ways that you can do that, but you want to make sure that you're keeping in touch with these people and bringing them back over time. All right. On to tactic number 7, your last one. Thank you for your time and attention again. Tactic number 7 is just good old fresh, useful content that you're putting out into the marketplace. Okay? We've become a society of consumers of information online. People just love to consume all kinds of different information, whether that's information in the form of pictures, videos, articles, infographics. We love information. And content, then, creating that information becomes one of the most effective ways to market your business. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One, because people like it, but two, also because search engines like it. Search engines like to see that you've got good content. And if you're creating good, fresh content on a regular basis, the search engines will reward you with higher rankings. So, I thought that this was an interesting example. A fiberglass pool company attributes 1.7 million in sales to just one article ranked number 1 on Google. Okay, it's a fiberglass pool company. I wouldn't think that there would be that many people out there that are that interested in reading articles about fiberglass pools, but $1.7 million in sales. That's the power of having good content out on the internet. According to HubSpot, again, the software company that I mentioned earlier, Businesses that blog on a regular basis, so publish content on a blog on a regular basis, have 55% more traffic than businesses that don't. So content really is powerful. And here's that chart just to show you again from HubSpot, showing that 55% more website visitors for companies that blog. All right, so let's talk about creating content. One of the most interesting and popular ways right now of creating content is what's called an infographic. Okay, an infographic is a little visual here that communicates a lot of information and oftentimes data about a particular topic. So you can see this one is the benefits of cycling, health and community. And of course, they could have just written an article about the benefits of cycling. But look, what they did here was they created something that I think is much, much, much more compelling because of its visual nature, right? It tells the same story, but instead of just being a whole bunch of text, it's very image intensive. It's brief, right? It's small. I can get all this content just in one, glance. So it's really compelling, and you'll start to see these infographics everywhere for every type of business. They're really neat. They're really professional looking when they're designed well. They really communicate some instant credibility. They have that visual appeal. And maybe most important for you, they tend to get shared like crazy. People will post these up on their Facebook page or up on Pinterest or whatever it is and pass them around to their friends at huge, huge volumes. So infographics can be a really, really cool tool for you. And I know if you're like me, you're probably looking at this thinking, going, man, I'd have to be an artist to create something like this. But there are people that can help you create these pretty quickly and easily at a very affordable rate. And there are also now some little software tools out there that can help you make these very easily and quickly. So don't be intimidated if you're not an artist, all right? So best practices for content. One, show off what you know, okay? Everybody, you've got expertise in something in your business, right? You know more about your products and services than the typical person out there. So write about that. Share your valuable knowledge about your products and services, about how they can be used, about how they can impact your customers, right? Be authentic, write about it, take pictures, create videos, create infographics, demonstrate what you know to your audience out there. That's really what it's all about. Just be authentic and create content about what you know. Okay. Number two, answer popular questions, right? You know from interacting with your prospects and customers that there are very common questions out there that get asked about your products and services over and over again. Well, create content to answer those questions. Because if people have those questions, they're out searching online for answers to those questions, and you want to be there with a piece of content to answer it for them. Okay? And then next, share the wealth. Make sure that you're using the power of social media and social sharing buttons to get your content spread to as many people as quickly as possible, right? You've got to make it easy. So include the social sharing buttons right there on the content to make it super easy for people to share. All right? So that's some best practices for content. And that brings us to the end of our 7. So we went through videos, the Every Door direct mail program from the Postal Service, Facebook ads, mobile search ads, Facebook contests, daily deal sites such as Groupon and Living Social, and man, there's a ton more out there now, and then just creating useful and entertaining content. Okay, so from here, what I hope is that you're inspired to go out and take action. That's what it's all about, right? Just giving you some good ideas on how to market your business very cost effectively, very quickly. But it's up to you, of course, to take action and turn that into reality. So I hope rather than just learning something here, that you take something and run with it and have some good success. All right, on that note, again, I want to thank you for your time. I'm going to go ahead and just get a quick drink of water here, and then I'm going to answer some of the questions that came in. And then before I do that, I'd just like to say, this is what we do for a living. We help local businesses market themselves both online and offline using a variety of strategies. We particularly look for areas to leverage technology to get the most bang for your advertising and marketing buck. If any of this that you saw today seems interesting to you, or you have any additional questions about it, or maybe you'd have a project that you'd like to consider, I'd appreciate the opportunity to contact or to talk to you. And if you would like to just contact us, just look around this presentation and you will see that there's our information on how to reach us. We'd love to hear from you. Okay, so let me just get a drink real quick and I'll be right back to answer some questions. Okay, I'm back. Thank you. Let's see here. So, first question comes in from Tom. He says that they tried Facebook advertising in the past for their restaurant and felt like that they were spending way too much money for the volume of new customers that they got in, and wondered if I had any insights on that. Um, yeah, so with any form of advertising, but particularly paid advertising, where you're actually spending money out of your pocket to try and get, something to happen, to get, more buyers to come into your business. It's really important, obviously, that you're able to measure an ROI, a return on investment, so that you know if what you're doing is paying off or not. So first time I'd say that, if I were to go back and kind of redo these campaigns with you, one of the first things I do is I make sure that we have all of the data, tracking and analytics set up properly to make sure that we really know what's happening with these ads and what the effectiveness is of these ads. And there's a variety of ways to measure that. You can, measure the traffic as it happens on the web. How many more people are making it to your website? What are they doing once they reach that website? And we can do techniques like putting a call tracking number in place to see, if people who see this ad are calling a particular number to reach you, then we'll know that they came from that campaign. We can have them fill out a form to get a coupon. We can do a variety of things like that where we can easily measure the fact that, okay, somebody came from that campaign and took action. So in your campaigns, you may not have been doing something that concrete. That's what I see at most businesses. They make the big mistake of just kind of generally advertising their brand, to saying, hey, here's our restaurant. We hope you come by, versus having a specific measurable call to action. So those are things that I would start with. The other thing is, with Facebook, you can reach, millions of people very quickly. Even if you're just a small local business, you can reach tens of thousands of people very quickly. Well, that's good, but it can also, have some downsides, right? If you reach that many people that fast, you can very quickly go through your budget. And if you're not careful about targeting and optimizing as effectively as you can in Facebook, you can waste a good amount of money, right? You can spend that advertising on people who are not really good prospects. So, that's really critical, and that's something I would definitely work on with you, is how have you targeted the exact right audience, and how are you optimizing that campaign as it progresses to make sure that you are cutting as much cost out of it as possible. But I would encourage you, Tom, don't give up on Facebook ads, because Facebook advertising is incredibly effective for restaurants. So let's see here. We have Sharon, and Sharon has a law firm, and Sharon says that we've used direct mail in the past, but more expensive envelope mail and FedEx style mail versus the Everydoor direct mail program that I was referring to. And she was wondering if Everydoor direct mail would apply for her law firm. Yeah, Sharon, so I think it just depends on the specifics of what kind of legal practice you have as to whether or not it would be very effective for you. So, if you're doing any sort of local kind of consumer law, then I think that it would be very effective for you. So, you know, injury attorneys, malpractice attorneys, things like that. Even things like, DUI attorneys, things like that. Those are mostly very local types of legal practices. So in that case, yeah, you definitely could do direct mail to a given area. Even actually, if you specialize, let's say you did like real estate law or something like that. The nice thing is, again, with this Everydoor direct mail, you can target very specific neighborhoods. So maybe you were going after like owners of high-end homes and you wanted them to be aware of your legal services, you could target just those high-end homes in a given area. So yeah, I mean, I'd have to know more about your legal practice, but direct mail is just so darn effective for almost every type of business that I would be pretty surprised if it wasn't something that would work for you. Okay, I'm going to do one more question here. Bob asks, what are the key factors to getting more traffic to your YouTube videos? That's a great question. So, getting more traffic to your videos is about a number of things. Okay, so one, it's about creating a good video, right? Creating a video that people actually want to watch and want to share, ideally, with other people. That's a huge factor. I mean, if you can get people sharing your video with others for essentially no cost, right? Then that's a fantastic way of getting more visibility and traffic. But a big part of it that just most people don't know, if you're not an online marketing professional, you usually don't have any reason to know, but the optimization of the video itself and the optimization of the description of the video, the title of the video, the tags of the video, when you put it into YouTube, all of those things make a really, really big difference as to how YouTube and Google perceive that video and how much traffic they send to it. So a large factor here is how you optimize that video, what keywords you use, what description you write up, all those types of things make a really big difference in getting that video ranked. Okay, and Bob, I'd be happy to talk to you more about that offline. It's a relatively big topic, but I'd be happy to talk to you about that. And in fact, I'd be happy to talk to any of you. Certainly, like I said, if you need any help or you have any additional questions or you have any projects that you're considering, I'd love to hear from you. No pressure, no hard sales pitch or anything like that. But if it makes sense for us to be able to help you or be able to work together, we'd be really thrilled about that. So if you do have any additional questions or you'd like to reach out, our contact information is right here around this presentation. And I look forward to hearing from you. And I just want to say thanks again for taking time out of your day to join me here today. All right, take care.